Or a more common karmic play out would be this, okay? Because when I will touch on another concept while we're on this, we're going to go over a couple of different things. When we're on the other side, before incarnating, we basically sit down with our guides and masters, and we set up a soul blueprint.
The astrological chart,
yeah.
The natal chart?
Well, basically, that's part of it, Holly. What it is, we're basically forming, in a sense, a soul contract. We're saying that, okay, I know that I'm weak in these areas. I know I did this, this, and this. I did things that weren't right, and some other people wronged me. What I should do is I should go ahead and incarnate in this particular type of incarnation to give me the lessons I need to get. So we'll pick an astrological configuration that fits the lessons that we need to learn, and we're going to incarnate into that life. Now, when we're on the other side, we're very brave. I mean, we're really courageous. And a woman might say, you know, every time I've been with John, he's cheated on me. Every lifetime. And every lifetime I've gotten really, really mad. So mad I could kill him. I think I need to forgive John. I think I need to work this through. So I'm going to reincarnate with him. And knowing that even though he's going to cheat on me, this time I'm going to forgive him. And we're going to go ahead and release the bonds of karma. But what winds up happening, Mary and John reincarnate. Went home. One day Mary comes home. There's John with her best friend or whatever.
Right.
Does she forgive him?
No.
No. She gets really, really, really angry. Okay. She wants to kill the woman. She wants to take him to court and take every asset that he has and deny him custody or visitation of the children. And does this get resolved? No. And then she ends up on the other side saying, you know, this time I think I'm going to reincarnate.
Yeah, because that's a human emotion that's very traumatic when you trust somebody and you love somebody and then they betray you. That's a very traumatic experience. So you keep going and going and going, but it's the same emotion each time, you know. Unless, I mean, knowing a little bit about astrology, sometimes if you have an air Venus or something of that, it might be a little easier. But if you have something like a Scorpio Venus, oh, forget it. So depending on maybe how they, you know, put the astrological chart together and to see, you know, where her personality lies and her feelings, you know, that could have something to do with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely could. There's all kinds of factors that do come into play with this. You know, it can get pretty complex, understandably, especially you're talking two astrological charts, and you're talking their karma that needs to be resolved in yours, and other factors. But the basic gist of it is, the whole upstart of it is when it comes right down to it, when the karma is resolved, the relationship may or may not cease to exist. Okay? There may be other factors that come into play. There may be a common purpose or dharma they need to play out anyways. There might be powerful physical attraction. That's, you know, a common denominator in relationships. There's any number of things that may keep them together, but once the karma's done, it's done. The soulmates are done. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, they have a question for you, Bob.
Okay,
Rashid. I'm going to go back up to it.
That's all right.
They want to know, this is still asking, do you feel that a person, it scrolled away from me, person would write a chart about being molested twice by her brothers, by each brother? And of course, other conversations coming up, they're saying that it could be lessons, etc. in life, but do you feel that that's something that's possible? That a person would write a chart about being molested twice by her brothers?
Well, I'm going to share one of Dick's case histories right off the bat, okay? I think this will answer the question, perhaps. There was a woman that came to one of his seminars, a professional woman who admitted that by the time she was 6 years old, she had been sexually molested 4 times by different unrelated males. In regression, it was revealed that she had gone through 16 lifetimes of sexual abuse.
That's too many.
Wow.
And the reason for this being is that she felt guilty because she was at one point a predator herself. She preyed on young boys, and on one occasion she feared being caught, so she killed the boy. The guilt carried through 16 lifetimes. 16 lifetimes she carried that guilt and continued to be a victim herself, continued to be molested. Basically what it came down to was facing this, acknowledging it, and then healing and forgiveness and breaking the pattern, which Dick felt that she did that day. in the regression session. Okay, but this is basically, you understand this, we are our own judge. See, the whole thing with karma and why some religions don't go for it, okay, is that it's radical self-responsibility. It's the idea that we are, in a sense, the captain of our destiny. We are responsible for everything that we do. There are no victims. There are no predators. All there is karma. And you understand that you are all things. You are, at certain points, quote-unquote victim. In other lifetimes, you're a predator. Okay? In other lifetimes, you experience all sorts of being. You experience all forms of sexual expression, all genders, all races, all religions, all creeds. You go through all of this, and you learn that you have no right to look down your nose at somebody because they're different than you, or because their skin color is different, or they believe in this particular religion, or they're gay or whatever. Because we're all these things. We become all these things in different lifetimes. And a certified way to experience something is to sit there and hate it. You know, if you're going to walk around ranting and raving about how much you hate blacks and you hate gays and you hate this and you hate that, you know, you keep it up, you're going to come back as a black homosexual. Is the way I like to say it. Okay?
Well, it's karma, you know.
It's karma. And hate and guilt, you know, these are powerful things, and they will draw stuff to you like a magnet. So I hope that answers this question. But, yeah, definitely people will repeat this stuff because they feel there's a need to try to correct something. Okay. So they'll choose to go through it. I mean, this is the thing, and some people have a real hard time. They get real mad about it. You mean I chose to get raped? You mean I chose to be beaten up as a, you know? Yeah, before you came to this incarnation, you choose what you're going to experience. Well, does that mean I'm a robot? No, because the experiences may be predestined, but your response to them is not.
What about
You're not a robot, you have free will.
What if that energy was about to happen, but you ran away from it, or you were so strong that you got away from that experience? Can that happen too, a free will?
Oh.
Like if it was well, I don't know, I guess destined is going to happen, but you were supposed to repeat it in this lifetime, but something happened, like the door opened, somebody came in the room, or the phone rang, or I don't know, something to stop it.
Well, the reason it could be stopped, okay, the main reason you would stop something bad from happening, something negative from happening, is through wisdom and forgiveness. Wisdom and forgiveness, grace and forgiveness, erases all karma. Okay? Grace, love, forgiveness overcomes all karma. At that point, you've overcome the lesson. You've learned the lesson. You've risen above it. You don't have to repeat it. If you respond to challenges in your life, whether they're minor or major traumas, if you respond with understanding, with grace, with compassion, with acceptance, love, or at least something resembling these, odds are you've learned your lessons. If you respond with hatred, rage, fear, disgust, revulsion, run away from it, then odds are you haven't learned the lesson, and unfortunately you're going to reincarnate until you get it right.
Until you get it right.
Yeah.
So in stopping something bad from happening, is that part of the karma, or is that you changing your destiny?
It could be part of your karma. Again, you may even have some positive karma that overweighs that, because we do have positive karma as well. You may have earned it through good things that you've done. You may have basically reduced some of that karma. And also some of it is just active change, working through it with love and forgiveness.
Very cool. Yeah, because you often wonder about that. So in changing that, was that part of the karma, or was that part of you changing your destiny? Because we often tell people when we do readings that nothing that we tell you is set in stone. You can change your destiny, so you can change things that are said to you, or not make them happen, which is the reason why sometimes people will come back and say, well, you told me this in a reading, but it didn't happen. I'm like, well, what did you do differently? And they're like, well, I decided not to do it. Well, then you changed your destiny, which is okay. It's entirely up to you. It's a free will. But it's very cool. Well, people on the chat are just enjoying you, Bob, which we always enjoy when we have conversations here at the Griffin's Loft with you. And they're really liking, and a lot of them are able to relate to what you're talking about with respect to, some of them have done past life regression, and so they're able to understand a lot of that, what you've been talking about, your topics and stuff.
Well, good. And if you want to find out more about me, they can go up on my website, www